Hello there you, and welcome to the Blood Ravens chapter, who today have the dubious honor of taking out a corrupted Imperial Guard regiment. The Imperial conscripts here turning towards the traitorous ranks, being succumbed to the enemy's pox. Will the Space Marines be able to hold the narrow Valley Pass, or will the Pestilence gain another victory this day? But before we do kick off today's battle, I just want to say a massive shout out to all you channel members who help to keep this channel going, and if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below, and while you're at it, go ahead, check out the amazing ChaoticPinky store. We've got some really cool merch over there. With all that being said, let's kick off today's battle. Ladies and gentle giants of the internet, and my oh my, do the Space Marines really have their work cut out for them today. We're just shy of 1 million enemies, but oh my gosh, look at all this bolt of fire already pouring out, taking down vast hordes here, leaving these just broken, scattered bodies strewn across the floor at the moment. But the momentum carries them forward here. Sheer weight of numbers able to push through the insane amount of bolt of fire that is coming out of the lines at the moment. Now, the Space Marines do have the defensive advantage here. Being in the valley here, they're able to really narrow down the enemy's attack paths. And we can see that the assault jump jet infantry activating here, unfortunately unable to use the jump jets in this game, but they are supported here by the melee dreadnoughts, who are going to be using their big power fists just to crumple hundreds of enemies before them. Meanwhile, that bolt of fire is overlapping, providing excellent covering fire here. The Renegades charging forth, sending the conscripts with them here, as well as the more corrupted Poxwalkers. Now, there is lots of demons in amongst the enemy ranks as well. They've also got quite a few last guns. There's even some true Chaos Warriors thrown into the mix as well. So yes, well, the Space Marines, as hard as they are, this is going to be a tough old fight. Numbers play a big part in this for the enemy, simply trying to bog the Space Marines down in this massive meat here. If anything, they're just going to end up clogging up the servos here on the Space Marine armor. It's really hard to move your shoulder pads when you've got a bit of human meat stuck in it. But at the moment, the Space Marines are doing a really good job, just providing this excellent bulwark here to the bolters in the background. Now, the bolters, they've got quite a decent range on them. They'll be able to shoot most of the way up the valley. Oh my god, it almost looks like almost none of the shots are missing. I mean, a few are landing short here, but that's the disadvantage of rapid fire. Some shells go wild. That'd be the rocket-propelled grenade nature of them. You can't always predict where a rocket's going to go. Look at this. Oh man, the Space Marines just churning out the enemy forces here, leaving behind them this lovely mosaic. It's very pretty. I'd love to have that as a carpet decoration in my house. Oh, we're already starting though to make these gigantic pools of goo underfoot. The Space Marines are just going to wade the way through it though, bit by bit. Now, look at this though. The zombie army here is absolutely massive. Sorry, the nurgle army. I keep calling it a zombie army because it's all just little men. But yeah, look, at the back here, they're not even moving yet. They haven't had a chance to move because the front rows are still making their way. Now, it does look like we are starting to get some of the last troops moving up little by little from over this point. But yeah, as soon as they start getting to the front lines, the Space Marines are going to have a little bit of a problem. Because of these so many melee troops here for the enemy, the Space Marines are really going to have to start like really increasing the kill count here to be able to plow their way through towards them last guns, but it is definitely going to be difficult. Let's just get down here, right in amongst it. Let's watch this from a chaos point of view as we come in here to these gigantic 8-foot flipping cement-clad warriors. I mean, one thing about this mod, though, is that the dreadnoughts are way too small here. They should be like twice the size of a Space Marine, at least. But they are doing their job at the moment. The assault marines holding that front line against this insane wave of enemies. And look at this though. Oh my god, 133,000 kills to 0 space marine losses. That is exactly the way it should be here. Now, it's kind of funny because I've been watching at secret level at this one particular scene. I'll put it on the screen now. But this one particular scene, this one here that I'm showing you, that really made me want to make this battle. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious there. Can you just imagine that's happening up and down this combat line at the moment? As we approach 150,000 kills here, there's only 690,000 enemies left. The Space Marines are plowing their way through the enemies, but we can see that, here we go, the last gunfire now is starting to come out of the Renegade lines. The green lasers here making their way towards our Space Marines. Oh my gosh, look at the lovely little lake that we've made. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's go take a little dip in this side. Oh my gosh, that's actually quite deep. I wasn't expecting it to be that deep. The front line, though, it's just this absolute wash of death at the moment. Oh, some of the demons here are starting to make their way to the front. The plague-ridden, the ultimate courses here of what turned the Imperial Guard army traitor. They were infected by the pestilence, and now the pestilence walks amongst them. But now they pay the ultimate price here for betrayal towards the Emperor. And I mean, there's no greater price than this one that's paid here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at this, Gabriel here. Gabriel Andros strutting his stuff on the front line. A gigantic power hammer. Funnily enough, I haven't unlocked that in Space Marine 2 yet, but I cannot wait. I'm going to have so much fun with the power hammer. Look at this though, the last fight's really starting to build up from the Chaos lines. You can see that a couple of the bolt rounds here are trying to pick off the Renegade gunners where they can, but a lot of it is getting bogged down in the front lines. Now, one thing the Space Marines don't want to do is outpace their bolter fire, but like I said, the bolters can actually shoot quite far here, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. We've just got this constant flow of enemies coming in at the moment though. But the Space Marines still 0 losses here, as we'd expect. But with this last fire starting to build up now, and especially as the Pox Demons have made the way to the frontier, the Plague-ridden, I am expecting to start to see some Space Marine losses. It is inevitable when dealing with enemies on this sort of scale. Well, the Space Marines are absolutely insane Giga Chads. They can still be overwhelmed by sheer weight of numbers. It is actually, I would say it's the Space Marines' greatest weakness is taking on vast hordes. It's just sort of not their thing. They don't have the numbers to do it. Don't get me wrong, they will kill lots and lots of the horde, but realistically, my god, that is probably the biggest weakness. Even with the insane levels of firepower that they can put on the battlefield. You know, unless you start getting towards Titans and the Warhounds, okay, maybe that's a little bit different then, but just like a pure Space Marine chapter like this, Bolters, Devastator squads, Terminators, I mean, alright, fair enough, actually thinking about it, yeah, the Terminators would be a major problem. We've seen how much of these guys can be absolute chads, so yeah. It's funny, actually, because I don't think I've ever seen an animated series with Terminators in it. Let me know in the comments below if there is actually any animated series like with the Terminators, similar to stuff like the Secret Level, or maybe even the Astartes 2. Though at the end of the Astartes 2, that was definitely a Terminator that we saw, so that should be quite interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a proper portrayal of a Terminator in the Warhammer universe, yeah. But look, going back to our universe here, only 500,000 enemies remaining here. The Emperor is smiling upon our Space Marines. Our Space Marines are essentially just on holiday now. They're just having a right old time. The enemy, oh my god, look, this has actually become so deep now that the AI can no longer path around it. This is drowning territory in here. That's kind of impressive. The Space Marines though, oh, we've taken a Space Marine loss. One Space Marine has fallen on the field, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite sure where. The apothecaries need to mark his location. We need to retrieve that gene seed. And I do think this might be the point then, where we start to see them losses. That chaos firepower from the last rifles has really built up now. But have we already done the damage with 300,000 kills here for the Space Marines? Another Space Marine has just fallen. It's starting to tick up now. The Chaos are starting to wear down, break through some of the armor. It's taken a lot of time to kill too. That's a damn good ratio for the Space Marines so far. But yeah, I think it's that concentrated last fire. Look, that's gotta be painful there. They're taking so many rounds into each individual person. Now, I'm trying to look for the actual bodies of the Space Marines here, but it might be hard to find them because A, it's really hard to see the front line, and B, it might already be piled up underneath corpses. Oh, another Space Marine. We're starting to take even more losses now, but I do like this, though, that we've managed to split the Chaos Army in two. It allows our firepower to really be concentrated, but this side looks woefully supplied comparative to this side. Seems like all the dreadnoughts are over this side of the field. We've only got assault marines over here. I'm actually trying to locate Gabriel Angelus. Where is he? Hey, Gabriel, where are you? Oh, I saw a hammer. There he is. He's actually looking pretty beat up at the moment. That last fire's really concentrating on him. I actually think Gabriel here might actually might succumb to some wounds here. Unfortunately, in this mod, he's actually weaker than some of the other Space Marines. But, you know, it is what it is. There's not much I can do about that. I've already got way too many custom units. Oh my god, we're creeping up to 5 Space Marine losses? What is going on? We need to take out this last fire. It already looks like the bolter fire here, picking off targets in amongst the horde. That's got to be them trying to take out the bolters, but yet again, really struggling just to fire past the sheer weight of numbers that are being flung at the front lines. And with the bodies really starting to build up as well, it just makes it harder for that bolter fire. So at the moment, it is focusing on supporting that front line. We can see the demons still coming in as we creep up to 7 Space Marine losses. It's all starting to pile up now. 400,000 left. Half of the army is here. Let's have a look. How are the reinforcements actually coming in? So yeah, we're not on any stuck on the mountains. Okay, so we've still got a large group stuck on the side of the mountain here who appear to be trying to trickle down rather than coming over to this side. We've still got plenty of reinforcements coming in from there. So yeah, I mean, just look at this though. Look how far the Space Marines have advanced across the field. They've done some holy work here already. I mean, look at the... We've literally oh, what's here? What's the word I'm looking for? The landscape. That's it. We've actually redone all the landscape here. It has been completely converted into these bumpy, crazy hills that we've made. But the enemy keep throwing themselves at the Space Marines relentlessly. Now, what we're going to do, hit a little time-lapse camera and see if the Space Marines can start making some advancements here. We'll be back, say, about 200,000 kills and see what happens. Roughly around there. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and by oh my, the Space Marines have been making some progress here. Look at this. Now, we have taken 42 losses for the Space Marines. You can definitely tell that the firepower here from the Renegade Gunners is all lined up now, pelting at that front line for the Space Marines, and they are really starting to take a beating here. 43 losses, but it does look like we're down to the last 200,000 now. It looks like most of them are actually up on this side here. Essentially, we've cleared out most of the valley floor. Now, this is going to get really interesting as the last few of the meat shield here essentially runs forward. The Imperial conscripts getting turned into absolute paste on our front lines. Oh gosh, I just saw a Chaos Warrior here. He's just so small compared to a Space Marine. Here we go, there's another one. Look how tiny they are. Now, them guys are actually quite strong, so I would imagine that they've been causing the Space Marines a little bit of hurt over here. You can see that they're almost standing up to them in toe-to-toe combat, but no, not quite. Unfortunately, it was not enough here for the Chaos. Now, how are they going to deal with these guys? Oh gosh, we've still got a couple of Chaos Warriors coming in. So it looks like they're just going to use bolter fire to try and take out a lot of these. And look, there's actually, I think we started off with about 2,000 renegades here with less guns, and there's definitely not 2,000 here, so the bolters have been doing their work throughout this. Now, we've still got a lot of covering fire coming in from this side over here. But the Space Marines do seem to have a handle on the other side of the field, which means that they can start sweeping around now and start clearing up the mess on this side. Are they actually going to plug the gap and, like, work their way up there? That'd be kind of interesting. But with 53 losses, that's still quite a lot of losses we've taken here today. Oh, gosh, you can actually see some of the Space Marines here now. Oh, my poor guys. Is Gabriel Angelo still alive? Did he manage to survive the fight? Oh, he is. Look, he's here. How much health has he got? Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's all right. He's still got plenty of health here. He's basically half dead. Okay, so we have still got this gigantic horde trying to come in from this direction. Yeah, it's still trickling its way down to the bottom. I think that's going to distract a lot of the Space Marines and pull them over this way towards the base of the hill. So we're going to have to see, is this horde here going to actually make their way through and start attacking some of these guys in the back? Because the guys with the bolters have essentially had basically free reign over the entire field so far. They've had to do nothing in terms of hard work other than stand there and mag dump the enemy. But yeah, there's only 100,000 enemies who are pretty much remaining now. And I'm going to go ahead and say they are all just here. Literally trying to make their way down this little valley. See a couple of the Space Marines. Looks like they've turned around and tried to come back up towards the valley. Have any actually gone over this direction? Oh yeah, we have. We've got a little squad over here. I say a little squad. Quite a few Space Marines have made their way over here. But look at this. All the corpses that we've just laid out here on the floor. And we've made this lovely little magnificent river that goes down through the center of it. It's actually kind of deep in places. Oh my god, look at this though. I absolutely love this. Being able to see Warhammer on this scale is really nice. We just need more animations and weapons in the game. That's all we need, developers. Please, give us more ammo types. I want mortars and rockets and crazy laser beams, plasma rounds, I don't know. Go insane. Hopefully, they did say that we might have some more content updates coming for this game soon. So, hopefully we can also get some physics items. That would be really nice. But we are literally watching a meat grinder happen here down below. Look at how many of the bolters have pushed up now. The exuberant confidence here coming out of the Space Marines. Let's hit another little time lapse and get this all wrapped up. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Where it appears now we have dealt with most of the horde. For whatever reason, we've still got this group over here refusing to pass any other way than down the side of the mountain. Now, I do think a couple of Space Marines are trying to make their way up the side of the mountain. But yeah, let's face it, these 48,000 here, they're not actually going to be able to do anything. So I do think we can be calling this one here, ladies and gents. And we are going to absolutely blast these guys off the side of the cliff face here. But as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time, peace.